People's Last Stand. What's going on? Agony. Hello. Oh man. I just go live for probably the last time, thanks to YouTube. If I could just get 15 more hours of view time, I'd make the remarks. But it didn't happen. Well, how y'all been doing? I'm just chilling, y'all. Just chilling. It's Sunday night. Like 48 degrees. So how y'all been? Let me get this live chat over here. Let me just chat. Third. Nothing's changed. All that's changed is they're pushing frequencies through the air so hard that I cannot stream tonight. Can you hear me now, Last Stand? It ain't me. Everything's just like I have it. You see how much I can do some days and how much I can't do other days. And nothing's different. The tablet's in the same spot, same Wi-Fi, same bars of signal. It's just they're pushing this daggum cold front down here, and their frequencies are messing me up. Cause I'm in I'm in a little spot to where if anything's not just right, I'm messed up down here. Pisses me off. It's not me, it's the whole world, man. Look, tomorrow night, I guess I'm still live. I see my screen went black over there. No, I tried to pop the chat out and maybe start buffering. I wanted to pop the chat out so I can sit there. I'm going to try to do it again. And I'll probably start buffering and watch. Oh, it took me a half hour just to get an internet connection. I can't figure out what's going on with this deadgum AT&T bullcrap signal, man. Man, what's the deal with your internet, man? That's crazy. I don't know People's Last Stand. I don't get it. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. And today like the 9th, so that means tomorrow's the 10th, and that's when YouTube's gonna. So I figure I ought to get one last live in and maybe make it to within 10 hours of my mark. It's crazy. I've done got about sick of YouTube. They make you jump through all these hoops. Oh, I have no idea, Agony. You can't stop frequencies. There's no way. All these dadgum radio stations and TV stations are still frequencies. They got 5G up and running. Well, hello, Laura. Laura, I don't know. I'm just kind of disgusted. I wasn't even gonna go live, and I thought, you know what? I ought to go live. I don't know why. I was just gonna say hello and goodbye because they'll probably purge. Chrysler Imperial, how you doing, man? I got mosquitoes out here, y'all. It's crazy, man. I got, I got two 50 caliber black powder rifles today. One of them's a Yukon, and one of them's a what was it? A buck hunter. Man, can sure. I hope I didn't butcher it too bad. Hello, how you doing? If y'all don't have each other, get each other. Yeah, went to somebody's live last night called "Be the Change." He's about disgusted too because he can't get but 5 or 6 views on his videos and stuff. It's just crazy, man. I don't get what's going on with YouTube and the YouTube audience and the creators. Because, man, I swear I don't feel like doing this stuff anymore. I watched the Enlightened Cafe. I know how he feels. I feel the same way, man. It ain't in me anymore. I've been trying to do all this stuff on a budget. I was trying to get monetized, so maybe it helped me upgrade. And look, I don't want brand new stuff. I can go to a daggum pawn shop and get the kind of video recording equipment I need for low, but it don't look like it's happening. Ice split. No, I ain't never heard of a rifle named Quake and Bush. Oh man, I ain't worried about tomorrow. It's when they get to the Supreme Court, it's gonna get good. That's when all these crazy Democrats are gonna wind up getting subpoenaed and whatever. They're gonna wind up getting indicted and whatever. I hope they don't go to jail. I hope they hang them like they supposed to. You know, treat people that commit treason or try to overthrow the government, which is treason, are supposed to be hung, and that's what they're doing. So, what they're doing is a little, I don't know, what do you call it? A little pony show. It ain't for real. That's why Trump ain't going. Trump ain't going to play their little game and get in there. He's going to let it go to the Supreme Courts where it's real law, where they can this and keep people from testifying that need to testify to straighten it all out, you know? Yeah, that's what needs to happen, man. Trump's doing the right thing. Trump will be in another 4 more years. Y'all watch. Yeah, John Boy 2020. I just don't have it in me, man. It's like the air's been, my balloon's been popped. I just, mm, I mean, over here where I live, I'm watching all the wildlife is gone. All the trees are dying. All the muscadine vines are falling out of the trees. I mean, it's like everything's just dying right before my very eyes, and it's depressing, man. McDuffin, hello. That's how I do it. I'm the Wilson of YouTube. This is my copyrighted trademark. Hell, the only birds we got around here are crows and buzzards. That's it. I saw, well, I gotta say, it was two honeybees, but actually, I think it was the same honeybee the next day. And it got trapped in my shop. So I had to catch it and take it outside because I didn't want it to get in here and die. You know what I mean? That's the only honeybee I've seen all year. Yeah, they are. Y'all ever watch Fallout Shelter? Y'all should check out Fallout Shelter. He got, I guess, a P900 or whatever, and he zooms in on those planes. You can see that stuff. And then what's going on, JP? But then, you know, they put that contrail banner. I went ahead and went to the Wikipedia definition. You know, they are lying in there so bad. They actually put that the condensation can come from wingtip to wingtip depending on the atmospheric conditions. And contrails can last for hours. I'm like, oh no, these people, they're out of their minds. Is it my hair? Or my just got a haircut. And look at that woman didn't cut my hair right for nothing. Kind of pisses me off. And she gave me some sort of lung problem for a minute. Yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my time with that stuff tomorrow. I wasted enough time. Jenny 875309. Every time I call that number, I get a recording. Yeah, it ain't a contrail. I don't know, natural born rebel. You can still label it as not for kids. So they didn't. YouTube left out one critical thing in that, and it was oh, what was it now? I can't even remember. That's how bad my mind is. But there's, instead of for kids and not for kids, there's like a general creator. You know what I mean? So that means there's a general category too, but they didn't include that. They wanted it this or this instead of giving the middle one that would let us be like we normally are. They didn't include that. A lawyer looked over all that stuff and found that, and it's you know, it's real. I mean, there is a common creator. I think it's what it's called, something like that. I can't remember now. I mean, that's from 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember yesterday. No, it wasn't a blind man barbershop. It was this lady, some sort of chest condition. I don't know. I asked her, "How you doing today?" She's like, "Oh, I've had some sort of chest problems for the last 2 weeks." And then when she was cutting my hair, a little hair got on my nose, and she went, "Oh man, I didn't know she was fixing to blow in my face." She's never done it before. She usually has this like makeup brush that'll sit there, real soft bristles and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh shit. And I caught it, man. That stuff stuck with me for 3 weeks. Ugh. I know it. And I read up on it. It's a third party that does it. And they use moon landings, for example, because they're trying to say nothing's a hoax and chemtrails is a conspiracy. Well, I send them feedback and let them know, hey, look, your contrail definition is correct, but what I'm showing is not contrails. But in their contrail definition, they say people mistakenly call them chemtrails when they're not. I'm like, I just read that yesterday. I had never read it, or I have read it, but it didn't say that stuff. And I read it yesterday, and it was saying and then I'll just send them feedback and go, why are y'all misinformation agents? You know what I mean? You know what? I would try this out. My brother gave it to me today. But there's no need in it because I don't have guests or anything. But it's pretty cool. I ain't never taken them out of the box. How does this work? They gave me some cool. It's got a mic in it. But I don't need this unless I have guests. And who knows, we're probably not going to have much more YouTube anyhow. I'm trying to do stuff over there on D Live. Hang on, let me catch up with the chat, y'all. You identify yourself as 13 and under. Well, it didn't give me the option before I went live to say if this was for 13 and up or what. Hey, Ann's Walsworth. You got some messed up just like I do. I guess everybody else. But your skies look like what they do to my skies. It most certainly does, McDuffin. It makes it true. I identify as a lesbian trapped in a man's body. Oh, man. Get a flute? I got a harmonica. What lights? The one that's real bright in the west after the sun sets? That thing, I only see it in the wintertime, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know I saw some stars one night. They're in a triangle formation. And I was shining my spotlight at a chemtrail plane, and I looked back at those stars because, the plane went out of view. And while I was looking, trying to figure out, I don't never remember seeing these three stars there. One of them started moving. Thing been sitting there for a good 3.5 minutes, and then it started moving. I'm like, oh, it wasn't a star. One a satellite. Satellite would have been moving the whole time. Man, I get on here, it makes me want to smoke, y'all. So y'all forgive me. Well, get some pictures of it, Lori. Laura. How do I pronounce that? Laura. I guess Laura. I'm bad at pronouncing stuff half the time. Lori. Okay. Thank you. MH in the house. Man, you know, I might go outside and, well, it's overcast, man. Oh, that's what I was going to tell y'all. Monday, we're supposed to get rain and stuff, right? And it's the temperature's going to be in the like low 60s. By Tuesday morning, we're going to be getting freezing rain, sleet, and snow. They said we might even have thunder snow. Oh my goodness. And that's why my streaming ain't doing too good tonight, because I mean, you can see the frequencies in the clouds, and they got all these when I was at my dad's, that's, you know, he's close to Memphis. The skies aren't like they are here, but they had trailer planes going by about every 15 minutes, and they'd go by, and it was making all the older trails equally spaced out to the south. I just wished I had some decent equipment I could do a time lapse, because I'd spend all day and sit there and record each plane going by and where that trail went, the next plane comes, where that trail, you know what I mean? Tell me they're not engineering. I mean, Harvard come out and said they are. Man, I'll send that Pope, my dadgum size 11, up his butt. I'm sorry, y'all, but that Vatican stuff is a bunch of bull crap. That last Pope they had was the most evilest looking Pope I ever seen. Only thing he was missing was the actual horn sticking out of his head. That joker had just, I don't know, evil. Just his whole face was, this Pope is slick. Man, I took a picture of the clouds one day, and look, I'm outside and I took the picture. I'm looking at it later, and it looked like I took the picture through a screen, you know, a window screen. There's just black, like a window screen, is all I can say. Don't ever convince yourself it didn't happen. Excuse me. Because I've seen stuff, and I know I've seen it, and I just can't believe I've seen it. And I know nobody believes when I say I've seen it. Polar and Message in the house. We got Wolf Lover. Hello, hello. The Stillwater Nation. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. For John the Elite. I'm no elite. I do not want to be I'm serious. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been watching what they're doing to the skies, and if y'all could just hear these planes that I hear going over, it's just they're like, and I mean, it sounds like a Saturn V rocket taking off from a launch pad. I mean, it sounds like the space shuttle. And jet engines aren't loud. It's the nozzles that all that stuff is coming out of that makes all that noise. And then it's expanding. It's like they got part A and part B chemicals, and they come out and they spread it out. It just drives me nuts, y'all. Yeah, beam me up. Oh man, I come up with a weird thing. It's about AI. I'm gonna put something together on that maybe. Cause I got this weird theory. It's a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a weird idea. it kind of ties in what people believe we're in the Matrix. I'm not even gonna go there right now because it's too far out there. Oh, really? Yeah, I hadn't seen any in probably about a week. But there for about a week and a half, they were going over all the time the Chinooks, those two-bladed ones, or the blade in front, blade in the back, and the Blackhawks. I saw two B-52 bombers go over. But these Chinooks and stuff, they're like, I don't know, they're probably flying at maybe 800 to 1,000 foot above sea level because I mean, I'm on top of a hill and can't even see them hardly because they're behind the trees. That's how low they are. Well, yeah. Look at look at your car radio. You got one car radio, but you got all those stations because they're on different frequencies. So you can have stuff sharing one spot in different frequencies or dimensions, however you want to look at it. I mean, I don't know. That's getting kind of deep. And usually I'm just shooting from the hip when I talk about stuff. Well, let me tell you, back in, I think it was 1998, I was at my dad's and I was hearing this. The only way I could explain it to my head was somebody had a big, heavy wooden table and they figured out how to slide it on the floor to where it was going like, you know what I mean? And I mean, that's before I knew about people hearing trumpets in the sky. But after I seen some of those videos, that's what I heard. But I assume somebody, some kid or something, found a way that when they pushed this table or something, that it was resonating because of how it was dragged. You know what I mean. Like how you scoot some across the floor and make a certain noise, make like a little trumpet noise sometimes. Well, that's what I thought it was. But and then we used to back in the 90s heard the big booms, man. People were calling the sheriff and they couldn't figure out and they were like, well, we don't know. We haven't heard any reports. But it was so loud, I thought it was like a settling tank that blew up about a quarter mile from me. I mean, it was boom. But nobody could pinpoint where the sound came from. Oh, exactly. Yeah, they're very small. Military. I mean, they're using all the rest. The government is. Really, McDuffin? I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. And then, I mean, this is back before I was getting on the internet or anything. I mean, I saw people, and I can't find it on the internet, but back in, when was this? Like the late 80s, like 89 or 88 or something. We had the Pac Man moon, and nobody remembers that. But the moon, it was a full moon, and it looked like Pac Man with his mouth open. It had a triangle black, I mean, it was a dark spot on it to where it looked like the Pac Man moon there with his mouth open. And they called it the Pac Man moon. Oh no, I can't find anything on the internet on that. Back then, we didn't even have cell phones, didn't even have beepers. All we had was like, um, what were those things? Little cameras. That's crazy. I can't find that anywhere. You got a bunch of different bands. But there's still the frequencies in between the frequencies. Some of them got longer wave lengths and some lengths. It's just, it's crazy, man. My dad, he was in the Air Force and he worked on avionics and stuff. And he was stationed over in Turkey and they had this big antenna. And he said he used to see birds fly in front of it and they just dropped dead as microwave antennas. And he got to thinking, he's like, man, you could cook something with that. And then what did they come out with later? They were called, well, they call them microwave ovens now, but back when they first came out, they were called radar ovens. But they would go into their little building, where all the electronic equipment was. And this is back when they had like the bulbs and stuff in there, the tube radio style stuff. And he said they'd bring fresh lights in there and they wouldn't even have to plug them in. They just lay the bare bulb against the wall and that's how they lit it. They didn't have to plug. That's how much electrical frequency was in the air. Well, Lord, that's all these frequencies, man. I'm serious. I had the same problem. I had a hearing test like a year ago when I was working at this company. They said I had excellent hearing, and I'm thinking, I don't know how, because I got this constant beat. Damn, when I did that, it blanked out. I got Cobra CB. I got CBs everywhere, man. I've got about 4 of them. I got this old microwave that doesn't work, so I use it for a Faraday case, and I've got all my CBs in there. I got 4 CBs in there. I got one just sitting right here. I got another one over there. I've got another one over there. I got one that I listen to plugged in over there. Well, this camera. Yeah, I got CBs everywhere because I don't need to have because these CBs I hear the hams if they're going. Oh man. Yeah, I don't have a handheld one. Yeah, I got my old cars, but I go turn. But the problem is, I don't know, the conditions haven't been right, and I haven't heard anybody. I heard the thing on all day. About 1 o'clock, I heard testing 1, 2, 3. It was real low. Then it was like it got a little louder, and then it just faded out. Gee, what Shadrax is in here? I didn't see Shadrax come in. Shadrach, I apologize. I see you now. Hello, Shadrax. I didn't see you come in, man. Oh, man, I got this thing. Look, I'm going to share screen this real quick and I'll show you what the problem is. I didn't have my dadgum chat. Y'all see that? If you don't chat enough, I won't see it. But if you go to live chat, all messages are visible. So I needed to be on live chat. I apologize. That was my bad. Burger 20. Man, I grew up in the CB era in the 70s. You'd have Smokies in the air. Boy, they called it a bear. You got a bear in the air. That meant you had a cop in a helicopter. They'd be like, you got a Smoky hiding behind some bushes, mile marker such and such. I loved it. I don't know if I'm buffering or it's no telling. It don't look like it on my screen over there. I know, man. I feel like I didn't even, I mean, I was going to go live this morning. And I was like, screw it. And then when I got home, I was like, I ought to go live. And then I was like, screw it. Because I drove to almost Memphis today. And anyhow, I watched Enlightened Cafe, and he kind of, because somebody said he's fixed to quit YouTube. I'm like, why? Then I watched it. I understand why, man. I mean, it ain't the season that's getting to me. It's just I'm tired of the jumping through these YouTube hoops. I've got over 1,000 subscribers, and I still can't stream on my phone. I mean, I can with the app I got, but I can't use the YouTube live. I guess I have to hit the hours. I had the hours, and then they took 200 of them away, so then I had to make up for 175 of them. And as of before I hit this live button, I only needed 15 more hours. But, I need some folks to tab me up and place on my playlist. I don't know, man. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of fed up with the not having the ability to do anything with these chemtrails. Let me ask y'all, who's got a slogan, wake up, look up? Who uses that slogan? Does anybody use that slogan? Because I remember a guy on G Plus that used to say that, but I don't know where he's at anymore. I can't find him on YouTube. I think his name was Look Up Skywatcher back when he was on G Plus. And I can't find him now. He used to have a mask that was like a military gas mask. That's kind of where I got my idea. And he kind of reminds me of how Fallout Shelter does, his videos. Man, I went to my dad's and my stepmom so much food. I ate enough for 3 people. I am so full. Ugh, I apologize. That might be why I'm half bleh. I did, man. I ate a whole plate of food, and then I fixed another whole plate, and then I fixed another whole plate. It's crazy. I can buy a family pack of something, and I'll eat that whole family pack by myself. Let me catch up on this chat. Well, Lori, where are you at again? Everybody put what state you're in, if you don't mind, so I can try to halfway. I'm in Tennessee. I'm in West Tennessee. I'm near Jackson, Tennessee. But I got Fallout Shelter wants to get me on a panel and do an interview with me. I need to hook up with him. And then Dadgum, I just said his name. That's how bad my mind is, thanks to the chemtrails. You're in Virginia? Okay. Comey, I don't know where that's at. Is it like east, west, or central? My great aunt, I know, rest her soul, but she used to live in Roanoke, Virginia, and that's a pretty town, a mountain town. Man, that's a pretty place. That's the first time I ever had red eye gravy. Whew. They had a ham hanging in the cellar. They went down there and cut some ham off that thing, cooked that ham up, made red eye gravy out of the drippings. That was some good stuff. Homemade biscuits. It was all homemade. Oh, you're in some state, McDuffin. I'm in a no, I'm joking. Ask what state people are from. People jumped out of the chat. Colorado. I'm not nervous. I just had enough. I mean, I don't deer hunt, but I like if somebody gave me something, I'm not going to deny it, right? But I am nowadays. What's going on, quick? Yeah, man. My dad was telling me this guy that he lives in between me and my dad, and he killed 2 deer this year, and both of them tested positive for. Well, they're calling it mad cow now. They're actually calling it what it is, because that's all they call it, chronic wasting disease, but it's exactly the same as mad cow disease. Yeah, thank you, Quicksilver. I forgot about it. Man, I usually get in people's chat and remind people to hit the like button. I don't really push it on my channel. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Oh, man. Let me get this thing back on comments. Huh. Wouldn't you think a higher altitude would have less atmospheric pressure on you? Or do you need the pressure to condense it? That might, yeah, maybe the lack of pressure is causing expansion between your joints or something. I don't know. I used to have real bad joint pain, and I just prayed it away. Daggum, the VA gave me all these daggum pain pills and inflammation pills, and I forgot all sorts of stuff, right? I took that stuff like prescribed. Man, it turned me into a zombie. So I stopped taking that stuff, and I just started praying, and I don't hurt anymore. Now, every so often, I'm like, I got a CBD oil right there. I don't smoke weed or anything because I'm going to pass the drug test. I got pretty good equilibrium still, somehow. I used to do heating and air, and we had to walk across the rafters and stuff. And some of these rafters were in vaulted ceilings, man. It was like if you missed a step, you had 20 feet down that concrete slab. Yeah, you can get poppies. You have to order them through their geno name or whatever you call it. You can't go, I need some of them poppies, but you can order them. Just got to order them by what their scientific name is. And they're legal to grow for ornamental, planting in your flower beds. And all you got to do is go over there, kind of put a little scratch on the stalk, and that milkweed juice will come out, and you let it kind of, get firmed up. I've never done it, but that's how you do it. I'll tell you something else. You can get those California poppies, and the leaves, not the flower or anything, but the leaves are equivalent to what marijuana does. That gum, that's crazy. Well, you know what's weird? I can travel like 80 miles to the west of me, and my dad lives at, I mean, he's only 200 foot in elevation lower than I am here. But as soon as I open up my door on my Jeep to get out, boom, instant headache. I mean, instant. Jim G, I know that, but the leaves have a marijuana effect. If you smoke the leaves of California poppy, like it has the marijuana effect. Yeah, that's the word, Jim G. You can get on the daggum internet and order them, man. You have to use the name of them right there. Papavarian cephalorium, however you pronounce that. I might have pronounced it right by accident. You know, we got a hillbilly talking here, y'all. Even though I have had some college, I used to work on airplanes. I can program and run CNC machines, but I'm full blooded hillbilly. I used to build and race my own dirt cars, man. I built the motors, built the roll cages, tow it to the track. I'd pit my own car. I was a one man team, man. I've been a loner all my life. I don't either, Jim G. I got to be able to pass the test. Skunk cabbage, I've heard of that. Oh, there's one in the woods you can find if you can find it, and it's called Indian pipe. It's not a mushroom and it's not a fungus. It lives, it's a certain place that it grow, and I can't find any. But it's called Indian pipe, and they're good for pain. But it feeds off, it needs a certain, what am I saying? It needs a certain kind of fungus around and certain kinds of mushrooms because it feeds off the mushroom and the fungus somehow or another. It's like it's almost like a tick. It's a tick for the mushrooms and fungus, I guess, but it's called Indian pipe. All right, Shadow Quicksilver, I appreciate you coming in, man. You have a good night. What you mean? Those seeds are not. Oh, what I'm trying to say. They haven't eradicated them where they won't germinate. You mean you can go to a health food store and those seeds will germinate? Huh. That's crazy, Lori. See, they got. It shouldn't matter, man. I'm gonna tell you what. I'd rather see every. It would be better if the people that drank smoked weed and didn't drink. I mean, alcohol changes your personality. It changes your thought process. It does. I mean, it'll turn you into somebody you're not. Weed does not do that. I mean, I'm an advocate for weed. Weed can cure so much stuff. It's an antidote against this stuff they're spraying in the sky. And that's what scares me, man. I ain't smoked none. And I know it's an antidote. Hell, they're just now figuring out coffee is good for you. Well, shoot, I drink 4 pots a day. It helps with cholesterol and all sorts of circulatory stuff, man. I'll drink to that. Jim, you can go to edibles. It takes longer to hit, but it lasts longer when it does. You gotta have some license for that, people. hemp is still like a controlled substance for some reason. Well, if you already got the card, Lori, doesn't that make, I mean, even if you're using or not, it still makes you where you can't own a gun and stuff, right? What? A couple of mugs on blood wine. Blood wine. I don't know what that is. Is it anything to do with, is that a plant? I'm thinking. Huh. The CBD will work to an extent. I mean, it works. It helps autistic kids. They can't smoke rope. But if you got the card issued to you, wouldn't that put you on the list? Just for the fact that you have been issued the card to allow you to have medical marijuana? I'm telling you, man, we should have the right. I mean, that's a natural substance. It's not like it's got to be processed and, you know, like they have to do cocaine. I mean, those people over there that they take the coca leaves and chew on them while they're out in the rice fields, and that keeps them going all day. I mean, that would be the natural way to do it, but they want to sit there and purify it to its pure state. Really, people's last stand. How? I guess you give it to her orally. That's crazy though. But no, every so often I haven't. I do it about once, maybe twice a month. You know, every 2 weeks or something. I'll sit there and get my CBD vapor, and I'll sit there and take a couple puffs. Well, I'll smoke on it for about 5 minutes, like if you had a pipe or something. You know what I mean? And then I'll stop, and then found out by I bought some syrup. And stuff was $10. That stuff was $10, and it was only for like 4, but I cut it in half, so I got like 8 doses. But let me tell you, that daggone syrup you can buy, that CBD syrup, it works. It'll get rid of some pain. I mean, my back was killing me. And I sat there and got some of that stuff, and I took like, you know, a half of serving, and it worked. Because I'm like this. I'm gonna try half of it first. Because if you start out at what they say to take, you're probably overdoing it. And then each time you do it after that, it's going to take a little more. And I try to wait some time out. That way it's effective because you get a tolerance to something. Well, I'm glad your dog's doing better from that last time. Huh. That's crazy. Yeah, CBD, I believe in that. It's natural. You know what I mean? Well, not might not be that natural vaped. I tried smoking it because they sell it everywhere now, and I tried smoking it in the bud form, and it didn't do nothing for pain. The only thing I found that works on pain is the vape CBD, which here, I got the bottle right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. But that right there works for vaping. And the other one is the same brand, but it's a it's like a syrup. And that really works. But it's too expensive. Man, that CBD stuff costs more than daggum weed. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm not doing any nicotine vaping. But still the stuff they use to make the smoke, it's the same stuff they put in those planes. I'm dead serious. They're finding heavy metals in these people that are vaping. But these people, this is what I don't get. These people got vapors that are bigger than the original cell phones when they came out. I mean, seriously, I'm walking around with a vapor big as this, and they're blowing smoke out like a chem plane. You know, I'm like, really? That's just ridiculous. I smoke this like I would a cigarette or something. Well, being it's CBD, I'll hold it a little longer. I do have a nicotine one. But only use that if I can't smoke. I'll have it in my pocket. That way I can slip a little. Because it's just as good to me as Nicorette or something. Me from having my nicotine withdrawals. I almost quit smoking. Then I started back like a dummy. Yeah. That's like, who was that? Or that might have been a show. But this dude, he was using his food stamps to get his alcohol. There's a, a liquor store he'd go to, but they had this alcohol cooking sherry. That way it was a food. And he could buy it with his food stamps. Cooking sherry. Crazy, huh? People everywhere. What, quit smoking cigarettes? I might, as soon as I run out of what I just bought a few days ago. I mean, I've done it before. I need to. My dad's in bad shape from smoking. Yeah, I quit for almost 3 months, and I thought, and the 3 months I was thinking, oh, a real cigarette would go good with this morning. And I kept thinking that, and finally one day, I and I roll my own, but I got some tobacco. I think I got some cigarette butts. I rolled up one, and then it's like, oh, that was good. So, found some more cigarette butts and rolled up another. Next thing you know, I'm going to the store and buying a small pack of tobacco. Then I'm going back to the store because I ran out of that tobacco. And then next thing you know, I'm buying a bigger bag. I'm like, well, here I am, right back where I started. I know it. I know, but it's hard. I mean, it's more to me. It was more a habit of having something hanging out of my mouth or having something in my fingers. That's. I mean, it was a physical, or is that mental? I don't know which way you look at that. Chew. Huh. I'll ask Stan. It's gonna be hard to do. Coffee helps nicotine withdrawal. Coffee and cigarettes to me are hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. I think that's why I drink coffee all day. All right, Natural Born Rebel. I appreciate you coming in. You have a blessed night. Yeah, let's see. I guess I've been smoking as long as you, Lori. I kind of started when I was 51 now, so. And when I first started, a pack of cigarettes would last me over a week. I'd smoke one here and there, and I could quit and go 2 weeks, and then I was like, well, why do people have a problem quitting? So I just started smoking because I knew I could quit, right? Well, that's where I messed up. uh, I hear you, natural born rebel. That's my motto too. No, I'm not getting the pig manure. Man, this daggone mosquito landed on my screen. I got over 7 species of mosquitoes around here, and like that many species of ticks. It's crazy. They told me I had COPD, but I don't believe it. Same doctor also told me I had aorta aneurysm. I'm like, what's that? And she said, well, if it busts, you won't make it 2 steps to that door and you'll be dead on the floor. And freaked me out, man. Luckily, she was wrong. Luckily, she's not my doctor anymore because I complained to enough people at the VA for the mental anguish she put me through. I couldn't even work after that, man. I'd start trying to sand the body work, and I'd feel my heart start beating a little faster because when you work, your heart's got to beat right. And then I'd be like, man, I don't need that thing to bust. Then the power suggestion, these doctors will tell you got something wrong with you when you don't, and you'll manifest it in your body because you believe what the doctor told you. That's why I don't go to doctors anymore. Maybe, maybe not. My great grandfather made it to, how did he make it? He had a stroke. He gardened all his life. He made a big enough garden that he could take it to the local grocery stores and sell his produce. But he had a stroke, and the doctor, he was so he got through it without any problems, right? But the doctor said you can't garden anymore. Well, he'd been gardening all his life, so he went back out there in that garden, and he had a stroke that just it bedridden him. You know what I mean? He couldn't talk. That's what got him. He was the only person I knew that was born in 1899. He was born in the previous century. Well, it's not even 1900s anymore, is it? When he courted my great grandmother, they did a horse and buggy and had a chaperone. He did the railroad and he built this house out of lumber. It was a cool house. Still standing to this day, man. You know, my grandfather had heart problems, man, but my dad doesn't, and I don't. Then when that daggum doctor said I had an aorta aneurysm, I was like, oh shit, it passed off to me. But the last time I had a checkup, the doctor told me I had the heart and the blood pressure of a healthy young teenage girl. I was like, yeah, I don't even go get those checkups anymore. It was just like I got the VA insurance, and you're supposed to hear and they do your heartbeat and blood pressure, and then they want to do blood work. That ain't happening anymore. I refused it, and now they haven't even notified me of an appointment. They call it a I can't remember what they call it now. Yep, I got Scandinavian, English, and Cherokee. Yeah. I'm trying to read. Oh, I'm looking over at this chat. Yeah, y'all. It's just been crazy. You know, I'm going to be quiet. You know what I don't get? You know those Saudi Arabia guy that sat there and killed those people down there at that Navy base in Pensacola? That guy, if y'all ever heard me talk about that body shop that I worked at, and had that Middle Eastern guy over there, that gave me crap all. He was from Saudi Arabia, and he hated Americans, but he's got paper. He's an American, but he always talked about his homeland and showed pictures because he'd go over there like 3 or 4 times a year. I don't know how you can afford to go over, but anyhow, when he went homeland, he had to tote a rifle. Now you telling me this guy's in America, living in America, but when he goes to his homeland, he's got to wear a rifle. That tells me he's probably killing people, and he's coming back to America and wishing he could do it there or here too. And I kept warning people. I'm like, man, these people are sleeper cells. I've been telling people since 911 that we have sleeper cells in this country. Now they're starting to show. Oh, it does. Look at effect. You can give somebody a cure-all pill, and it will cure their actual ailments, and it's nothing more than sugar. Give them a daggum M&M. Well, thanks, Lori. Hook up with everybody in there. Hit my subscribe button if you haven't. I could use a few more family members. It's like my family is rotated out. There's only a few old family members that come in anymore. And that's something back when in our families, I mean, I'm talking about aunts and uncles and cousins and great uncles and great aunts and stuff. They would come from everywhere, Georgia, just everywhere. We'd meet a couple times a year, you know. Since my grandparents passed away, man, I don't have them anymore. I don't know, man. It's like it's non-existent for me. I don't have. It's like I don't know what happened to family. I really don't. I've got some aunt and uncles on my mom's side I haven't seen since 1986. But it's not by choice. They live way out in Virginia, and I just haven't had the spare money to, you know, go see people like that. I'm sorry, you know. I mean, what was that? Richie from Boston said the dollar has lost 97 cents worth of value. So that means the dollar's only worth 3 cents. And I know for a fact back in the early 90s, I was only making $6 an hour, and I could pay all my bills and have enough money to go to Heber Springs every weekend. I'm talking about that was a 3.5 hour drive. Go to Heber Springs every weekend, camp out for the weekend, and still have money. And then all of a sudden, you can make $12 an hour, and it's like making $3 an hour in 1993 or whatever. It's just crazy, y'all. I remember 35-cent gas. I remember we were going on vacation. I was a little kid, man. I think what were we in? It was like a 70. I'll take that back. It was a 69 Pontiac Catalina. And man, we're about to run out of gas on the interstate. And my dad, he saw a sign that was 38 cents a gallon. He said, I'll be damned if I that much for some gas when I know there's gas for 32 cents a gallon back home. And my mom's like, we're not back home and we're going to be stranded on the side of the road. But he refused to stop for 38 cents a gallon gas. I remember that. That's crazy. Oh, when I first started working, I'm trying to think, minimum wage was, I think, $1.75 or something. I can't remember. It was low. I started working at like 86. So whatever minimum wage, I can't remember now. No, it was $2.75, I think, $2.75 an hour. Is Super Dave in there? Hey, Born Racer, did I say hey to you already? my dadgum memory is so bad. Hey, Racer, that dude wanted you to check out that tobacco he had, man. Would you please put his name in there? Because I said it earlier, and it's totally. I know it's 3 words. The first 2 words are 2 letters. Dadgum, my mind is gone. Yeah, they're making sure these Saudi Arabians, they're like, y'all getting out of this country. They need to do it to all of them, man. I'm gonna tell you, back in 1980, I guess 88, I was in the Air Force and I worked on the flight line. I worked on C-130s, and then this expediter truck came up, and this dude wearing a white robe and a white towel wrapped around his head and sandals got out of the truck, 2 of them, and they were with the flight crew. And I'm like, man, what the hell here? And they told me they were teaching these guys how to fly. These jokers are flying our military in sandals in their little white gown or whatever you call it, the robe, whatever it was. And I was like, man, this ain't right. We don't need to be teaching them on our time, with our planes, with our fuel. I mean, really? And now you see where it is today. I try it, man. I'm not, what do you call it? What am I trying to say? I'm not racist, but when you got a certain nationality of people that hate you, you can't trust them. I mean, it's simple as that. You know what I mean? Be the Change. That's the name of that channel. Be the Change. Born a Racer. Did you ever? That dude lives near you, and he had some tobacco, or it's not tobacco, but it's got nicotine in it, or something. I don't know. He wanted you to try it out. That's why I was trying to get you over there to that live stream last night. It was just me and him in that live stream. It was crazy. Well, there was 3 people come in at one time, and then it dropped back down to just me and him. Yeah, I know what I call 911. Yeah, I would say that. I don't watch him anymore. After he did what he did to me, he can kiss my butt where the sun don't shine. He's not a man of his word at all, because he made a promise to me on the phone that I recorded, and I put that recording out here on the internet. Yeah, he did not keep his promise to me, what he promised he was going to do. So screw him. I'm sorry. But yeah, when he did that hot musket and that was all made up, and then he did the Chinese tanks in Mexico, eh. And then he did some other stuff. I'm not sure what the topic was, but everybody and his crew said, "Hey, look, we found out this is not real." Yeah, you know. So screw him. He don't. The only thing that propels his show is the call-ins. That's it. Mainstream news or telling lies. I don't watch none of it. And then he lives right in the cicada zone where he's telling everybody to get out of. You don't see him leaving. So he must not be too worried about it. Oh, one time I called him in a lie. It was like let me think here. He had a Thursday night live, right? This is back when I was watching. This was the final draw. He made his live short. He said the reason why he was doing that is because he had his daughter and he wanted to spend time with her. Well, the next day he did a live or a replay of a live something, I don't know, but anyhow, he did something from his car and said, "Look, guys, I'm having problems. There's a wreck on the interstate here. It's slowed down traffic. It doesn't look like I'll be able to make it back in time for my show. I'm on my way to pick up my daughter, so it looks like it's going to be too late." And I'm sitting there thinking, hang on. How in the world is he on his way to pick up his daughter on Friday when on Thursday night, the night before, he ended the show early because he wanted to spend time with his daughter that he had there? I'm like, man, the dude's a liar. Dude just made that crap up. Instead of going, "Hey, I'm not going to do a show tonight because my daughter's here," he makes it out like I'm trying to pick her up, but everything's going crazy. So that's when I'm like, screw you, Mark Fugel. And Dex, if you're in here in the chat lurking, that goes for you too, buddy. The F word, did I? I think I might have. Did I? I hope not. Did I say screw you? I hope I did. That's what I'm saying. That joker pisses me off. He's a dadgum two-faced liar. Dadgum porn. I mean, fear porn. Man, I shouldn't be talking about it. But he knows it. Did you see the one where he was trying to do something and he didn't realize he was live and started crying? That jerk yanked off his headphones. I got it somewhere. I got that clip somewhere. He yanked off his headphones, yanked that door open, and little baby. And then you hear something sound like slapping. No, he don't keep his word. Matter of fact, I can go find that video. Matter of fact, I got it on my tablet. I could play it right now where he promised that he would shout out John Boyd for president. If I didn't do anything to block me because I was campaigning John Boyd for president in the dadgum chat. And the dadgum moderators sat there and they were retracting it. And then they put me in timeout, and then they totally blocked me. So I called up Dex the night it happened, and I told Dex, "Why the hell am I blocked?" And he tried to get a hold of my phone. I was like, "Look, dude, I didn't do nothing to get blocked, and I want to find out who blocked me." Well, he had Marfugel call me the next day, and I got it all on recording. Fred was like, "Well, they said that you were spamming." I was like, "I had John Boy for president in there. I mean, is that spamming?" He goes, "Well, it can be considered spamming." I go, "Well, I didn't mean anything by it." And he was like, "Well, if you apologize to the moderators and stuff." And I explained to him why I was doing John Boy for president, because I'm trying to wake up people to the fact they're losing their constitutional rights, right? And he's like, that is a pretty good idea, being this around election time. And this is months ago. I'm talking about like 8 months ago or better. And I started to get an early start on this campaign to get it going before the Democrats started campaigning, right? So he said if I apologize to everybody in his next live stream, that he would shout out John Boyd for president. So I got in there in his next live chat, and I sat there and I apologized to each individual moderator. I apologized to Dex, and I apologized to Marfugal individually in the chat. He never said anything, so I sat there and got off the show, right? Well, I come to find out, I was told at the end of the show, he sat there and said, you know how he usually goes, Marfugal out. He sat there and said, Marfugal for president, and did a crap-eating grin, they told me. That pissed me off. Born Racer, are you serious? You're a paid shill, Born Racer. I'm a hang on. Right there. Are you serious? Are you serious? You see this thing right here that says hide user on this channel? Are you best friends with Dex Born Racer? You see that? I'm one click away. One click away, Racer. What's it gonna be? Is it true? Hey, K-Boo. Wait a minute. Okay, Racer. I think you clarified it. That was close, though, wasn't it, Racer? It ain't like I haven't never blocked you before. I'm kidding. I mean, that was the good old days. Oh man, Lord, I'm not gonna. I mean, I do put out my ideas and my thoughts, but I'm not gonna lie to anybody. And if I do accidentally lie because I was misinformed or mistook something, I will rectify the problem and say, "Hey, look, you know." But I'm seldom ever wrong, and if you don't believe me, you can ask me. No. I don't know people's last name. I mean, I've thought about it, but I don't even want to waste my time because I got John Boyd for President channel. You know what I mean? And I thought about because that's how they blocked me. I made up a John Boyd for President channel and went in there. Blocked my channel because of the name. I'm not spamming now, and it was funny too because there were 7 people saw me and they're like, "Hey, John Boyd for president," and there's nothing but everybody going, "Hello, president." Oh, you can say I got him sweating, man. That was funny. He got to sweating. He's sitting there, got cotton mouth. It was funny. Peeps saw that. I showed him that. That was so funny. Oh, you didn't miss anything, Kelly. We're just talking about the good old days over there at more back when I got blocked and Marfugo didn't keep his end of the deal after. Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is, Racer. You remember that time he come up in people's last stands live trying to fix the narrative and stuff? He's a disinformation specialist. They were going by the actual playbook that I was putting out there. Well, it'd be all right. I'd let him be my vice president. I don't have a vice president, so I would let Trump be my vice president. But we're gonna do it country boy style. Excuse me. These cigarettes. Hey, Jenny B. I don't know how far behind I'm lagging on the actual broadcast. Yeah, Kelly, you didn't know that he lies? People, you might have retracted it in the chat, but I see it on the StreamYard. You want me to highlight it? Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. Did you rewrite it? I guess you did. What did you retract? Oh, it don't matter. I'm a hillbilly at heart. Y'all see my banners, right? This is, I mean, seriously. John Boy for president. Make America win. I mean, seriously. That's my campaign slogan. People ask me, well, which party are you with? I'll tell them I'm with the American people, man. The people need their voice back. That's the whole problem. They say we're a republic, and a republic is run by the people. But they say our democracy. Well, that means controls the people. So are we a republic or a democracy? You see what I'm saying? They claim republic. I mean, I think it's on our money it says republic. But really, I don't think I'm gonna waste my time on that Democrat stuff tomorrow at all. Because basically they keep saying the same thing. I feel like this, I feel like that, or I don't remember, or I don't recall. All right, last stand. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. I mean, and look, they keep saying, all right, this, I mean, I'm gonna go political just for a couple minutes, not long. They are trying to say Trump is election meddling by trying to get a investigation done on Joe Biden. No, Trump was investigating the dadgum corruption over there in the Ukraine. Just so happens Joe in the middle of that corruption. He never said want to go after Joe Biden. He said he wanted Ukraine to open up the investigations on Burisma. Burisma will expose Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. All right. But the Democrats twist that around to where he wants to investigate Joe Biden. That's election meddling. All right. What do you think the dadgum impeachment process? Election meddling. You're waiting until election time when everybody's going around trying to get people's votes, and y'all are pulling this impeachment, which is backfiring on them, by the way. It's making Trump don't even have to, Trump's name is everywhere all the time. You know what I mean? And anybody of any sense can see that the Democrats have nothing whatsoever on Trump. It's all by how they feel and what they think. I mean, come on. Oh man, okay, I'm through ranting. I don't know. I got my dog inside and something just ran. It might have been a daggone armadillo. Now, Jim G, Trump is one of the best presidents I've seen in my whole life. All right. I mean, everybody's got their secrets. I mean, yeah, he seems to be, but you know, I'm sure that he did probably pay some hush money to that daggum chick. I can't remember her name, Summers, whatever her name is, whatever that daggum chick's name was. And yeah, he did say, you know, he was just locker room talking. I mean, that's how. I mean, if he had known he's being recorded, he never would have said that. He was just doing, you know, bull crapping kind of guys talk, and they twist all that stuff around. But you know what? Everything's bounced right off of. Yeah, you know, one thing he promised to stop the chemtrailing, but I think they told him there's no way to stop it because they've messed up by starting it, and if they stop it, it's going to be catastrophic because the Earth is going to reset to its natural ways of the weather, and this probably, man, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, Racer. I'm getting a little behind. I am too, Jim G. I got 5 acres in the middle of nowhere, and I've got nothingness. I mean, woods and creeks and stuff. All I mean, I don't know how many 100 square miles. I mean, I can get to the Chickasaw State Park through all the woods. I might have to cross a road or two, but I figure I can go underneath bridges. Nobody'd ever see me. But I live out in the middle of nowhere. I got tens of thousands of acres of just woods. Trump is Pinocchio. He don't have any strings, but he's still a puppet. No, I'm surprised they ain't tried to shoot him or kill him or something. Well, you know, I didn't think Obama would make it a week, and he made it 8 years. I mean, really? And you know, when he said he's draining the swamp, he drained the swamp. And all these Democrats doing this impeachment is the scum on the bottom of the swamp. And he's got to scrape that scum off the bottom, and he's going to turn it into an Olympic swimming pool. Watch. He's giving these people enough rope to hang themselves with. That's all he's doing. These people are in so deep and trying to overthrow our government, and they done went past the point of no return. They are screwed. Screwed, I tell you. Really. I wonder who's Soros? Who's got the $2 billion price? That's a pretty good price tag. Hmm. Hmm. Racer, you're just anti-government all the way around. As far as getting some crap done, I mean, heck, when Obama was in, they were talking about they needed a wall down there on the Mexican border. But as soon as Trump promises to put up a wall, they're like, "Oh no, no." I mean, come on, people. And look, they are allowing all these illegals to come across the southern border, right? But they won't give these people in Ukraine visas to come over and be witness proceeding. I mean, what? And like I said, this is in another chat I was in, and I just put in there, man, they ought to come up through the southern border, then they could be in the country, you know. And you know who I found out is the rich in the world. You know who the richest man in the world is? The one that's got more money than anybody in the world. Do y'all know who that is? I'll let y'all do a couple of guesses. I just found this out the other day, and it's a reliable source. Racer, you got to take a shower before you go to bed, don't you? I'm kidding. Racer's usually in the shower all the time, y'all. The wealthiest, the richest man in this world right now is Putin. Y'all believe that? Putin is the richest man in the world. Yeah, that's crazy. Hard to believe. Man, y'all, it's starting to chill up in here. It's crazy. Man, I swear. The other day, I was sitting up here at the computer and I had my hands on the desk, and I felt like I felt my hand vibrate. It was like three dead gum, like if somebody had stomped, but there wasn't any noise. I just wonder if that was some sort of little quake. Really, I didn't know that, Jim G. 50 plus tons of diamonds. You know how much that's probably worth? Yeah, well, I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think they last stand. I think they kind of bullwinkled him, wool over his eyes. I think they told him a simplified. He did not read it or something, because what that did was make it to where everybody in this country is at risk of their neighbors getting them thrown in the loony bin forever. All your neighbors. I mean, seriously, you can mess your neighbor up. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the chat. It just went from, well, it was hanging on 9 for a while, and then boom, 3 fell. Well, I buffered. Maybe they buffered off. I don't know. Shoot, I had crazy stuff on my phone. I was trying to watch a live stream last night and totally got it. I mean, I had to go find it. Yeah, I mean, look at it. He told our companies to come back to this country, because I couldn't believe it, man. Back when I was watching these bills be signed, and they made it to where it was better for the companies to go overseas with their companies, and then they're using basically slave labor, and then they were sending the stuff back over here and charging more, and they were making such big profits, just like they're doing on gas right now. I mean, back in the day when oil was so many dollars a barrel, gas was like $1.75. But for some reason, it's still way up there. And oil prices are down to where back when I'll take that back, less than $1.75. I had a 069 pickup truck, and this is back when gas was 87 cents a gallon. For me to drive, it was 40 miles to Memphis and 40 miles back. It cost me $20 worth of gas. And that's, 87 cents a gallon. Man, if I was to drive that same truck, that same distance now, it would cost me $50 in gas. I didn't get the 7 miles a gallon out of it. It kind of worked like an airplane. I got an hour. So the faster I went, if I went slow, I'd burn more gas. But if I went fast, I could get somewhere quicker and use less gas. I did have my dinner. I'm gonna go one more round, then I'll jump in behind them. I'll tidy up the place. I'm gonna put a moonshine still on every corner. What's weird where I'm at, gas is like 235 or so. Where my dad's at, it was only 221. I say only. But when gas got up to over $4 a gallon, man, that killed me. I used to have my own company. And I did used car lots, and I repaired their used car vehicles and customers and stuff. The gas price high that extra money the car lot had to fix the vehicles had to go keep gas and used cars so people could test drive them. And customers that used to come in to have their bumpers had to stop doing that because that extra money they had was going into the gas. And then they put that ethanol in there. That ethanol killed my gas mileage by 4 miles to the gallon. So that makes you have to buy more gas. The ethanol, they say it's to, no, it's to help them get richer. Because I know for a fact I had a Suburban, and that thing, it didn't get that bad of gas mileage, but it got, one day, and I used to put the bare minimum in it so I could keep my weight down because I was basically a mobile body shop. And I'd put $10 in it to get to work, right? Well, the gas price didn't change. I couldn't find a pump that had no ethanol in it anymore. So it was costing me $15 a day to go to the same because I was burning more gas because it had ethanol. Ethanol makes you gas mileage. So basically, it makes them gain profits because you got to buy more gallons. Think about it. 10% ethanol, 10 gallons. That's 9 gallons gas, 1 gallon ethanol. You see what I'm saying? They were smart. They're robbing the public and then telling the public, "Oh, that ethanol is to help the environment. It helps keep your motor clean." No, that ethanol draws water into it and all sorts of stuff. It causes problems. It messes up the hoses, your fuel lines. Ugh. I know. Oh, they're scared. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be seen on John Boy's channel either. I'm kidding. I don't know. Used to when I used to do stuff on lives, I'd go to these big channels and they'd have the same topics that I talked about on my live. So it tells me we got listeners for bigger channels that go to the smaller channels and get ideas, and then they run back to the big channels and tell them, well, they're talking about this. Ain't nobody else talking about that. And then next thing you know, the big channels got the spinoff on the story that the small channel started. People's last stand, you're with when I was doing those daggum 8-hour hangout lives. You remember when we talked about storming Area 51 and how you couldn't get so many feet or miles from it? And then they test out the new weapons, and then that's when they're going to pull the UFO hoax from Project Bluebeam. Man, that story went straight to Richie from Boston, and he had people on the panel, and they talked exactly the same. I mean, not word for word, but in the same order we did it. And I was like, look at this. But you got to understand, it is hard to create, man. It's hard to come up with something new all the time. That's why I pushed this live button, not wanting to, because I'm like, man, what am I going to talk about? I'm disgusted. I'm fed up with YouTube. I'm fed up with the government. I'm like, I shouldn't even be on. Not really in that good of a mood. I mean, not that I'm in a bad mood. I'm just funked out, man. Like I said, everything around all the daggum muscadine vines are on the ground, wrapped around the trees like a hose. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Just everything's dying in front of me. At first, Jim G, when I started reading that, I thought you were saying you just sold your wife. I was like, dadgum. You remember that last stand, yeah. And then the other one was, when I talked about reality and what reality was, daggum John X Army, man. Well, he turned into high frequency or high vibe or whatever it is. Volts and WSO, and sat there and said, well, I discovered what reality is, and said exactly word for word what I said. And I'm like, look at this. I mean, come on. The next day, that's the whole problem. They do stuff within 12 hours of me saying it. And, I can't knock it. It ain't put it out there. It ain't like they copied the video. They just went with the topic. So, that's just how it is. I figure if I hold this cigarette before I light it, it'll last longer. Well, that's how it always been, last stand. I've worked at companies where I saved the company two or the whole crew, and then my lead guy that I suggested, well, this is how we need to do it. We'll save 2 hours. I just run me back, build this metal real quick, so we can do that. He's like, can you do that? I'm like, yeah. Get it done, come back to the shop, and me and the foreman are standing in front of the president's desk, and he goes, good idea to save 2 hours. And I'm looking up at this dude like, dude, that was my idea. And in front of the president of the company, telling him that that my idea was your idea, and getting all credit for it. Ugh. That guy did that. He got caught. See, I did heating and air back then. This dude sat there, didn't have any money, right? We go to lunch. That jerker's got a roll of money that he's pulling out to pay for his lunch, right? We get back to the shop. Some homeowners done called in, said she got money missing out of her panty drawer. This guy was in this woman's panty drawers and found her money. He didn't show up the next day after that. He heard that they found out, and he just didn't show back up. No, I had an old Suzuki Savage. I killed a deer on it and a dog. After I rebuilt it from the deer wreck, I killed a dog on it, which I didn't actually wreck it from the dog. I come close. Whew. Hit a dog at 75 miles an hour. Well, I hit the deer at 65, and it threw me down the road 186 feet. Man, I don't know, man. I ain't riding bikes no more. Too many cars do not see you. I've had so many close calls with cars where they've almost pulled out in front of me, and it was, I mean, if you try to keep, if you try to stay in front of them, you're still going to get hit by them. Or you got to broadside them, or if you shoot behind them, you're going to hit the ditch that they're from the road they're pulling out from. I mean, it's been that close a call, and luckily, I kept trying to stay in front of them, and they finally saw me. But when I went by and I pointed at them, my daggum whole arm is going over the top of their hood. I had one where this guy was in a blazer, and man, he went to pull out in front of me, and I was in a corner, and I was halfway through the corner, and he started pulling out. There's a, I mean, you can't do nothing in the corner. I started hitting the brakes. I had that bike was sideways, and I'm like, oh shoot, oh shoot. I'm like, I either got to try. If I try to stay in front of him, he's gonna run over me. I can broadside him, or I can hit that big ditch with the bank barbed wire fence. Oh, he saw me, and I got stopped. He stopped, and by the time I got stopped, because I kept trying to, when I got stopped, my daggum knee was 1 inch from his front bumper. And then he's in there laughing. I'm like, oh, I should have, but I stopped 18-wheeler with a Pontiac Fiero one time because that sucker run. I got back on the road, and I passed that joker, and I caught him in between a hill. And I passed him and got in front of him and stopped. I didn't whoop his ass, or not, excuse my language. I didn't whoop off on him. And those batteries can be a pain because they stuff that stuff in there. I know the one on my Suzuki is a fun one to deal with. Man, I've had over 20 something near death experiences last stand. I did die in the deer wreck one for like 3 seconds. That was the best. Man, I loved where I went there. Everything was made out of You stopped the 69 Nova with a 30-06, huh? I can't keep this cigarette lit now. I go. That Suzuki Savage I had, I rode it for 3 years straight, all season long. I'm talking about wintertime, summertime. I put 28,000 miles on that bike in 3 years. That jump. Jim, I don't want to be around you when you're. That's funny. Uh, you went through a truck window and walked away. Man, I'll tell you what, wrecks are crazy. Sometimes they happen so fast, you're like that, and sometimes they're in such slow motion. It's just unbelievable. I blanked out for a minute. Like I rode a Honda Accord one time, and I watched the wind, and it was cracking in slow motion all the way across. And it's in the wintertime when you step on a pond and you can hear the ice crack across the pond. That's exactly what it sounded like. It was like, but it crushed that roof in like, I don't know, 8 inches. All because, look, I was in Memphis and I had this tire on the back and it had metal showing, the steel belt was showing. And I was like, dadgummit, I've been riding this thing for 2 weeks. And I was worried about it blowing out and flipping me. So I went and put the spare tire on it. While I was in Memphis, I did it the hard way. Just used the car jack and all that. When I could have took it home and used floor jack, been a lot easier. But I wanted to be safe, right? So I put the spare tire on there. I started heading back home, and the road's kind of like that. And I'm a quarter mile from the house, but I was flying. It was a back road. And I went over this one hill like that, and it lifted up the back suspension and it made the back tires, be in like that. And when the weight come back down, that spare tire had gone low on me and it popped it off the rim and it kicked the car sideways. And I'm like turning into it and trying to slow it down at the same time. And I was down to like 20 mile an hour. And I ran out of steering wheel. I couldn't turn into it anymore. And it was starting to veer off the road. And a little bitty ditch, man, like a foot deep, a foot across. Somehow it caught that and rolled that car, man. Pitiful. But that's my luck. That gum. Oh, okay. Yeah. I like. Hey, let me show you my firecracker I built. I haven't. I'm waiting on a good rainy season because I'm kind of scared of this one. It's it's kind of big. Well, you can't really see it. I got my fuse and everything. Oh, there it is. But it's kind of big, man. And here I am smoking with it beside me. I built that especially for my neighbor that was giving me trouble. But luckily, he put a pistol in his mouth and pulled the trigger. So now I'm left. I've got that one, and I got this one. That is the monster one right there. Yeah, I better shut up. But it's just fireworks. Yeah, it's kind of like a mortar, except for I've made everything backwards. Instead of shooting up, it shoots down. It's all cardboard. I mean, there's no metal. I'm trying to catch back up. Yeah, it's like 4 feet, I think, last time. But it's not full of, it's more or less, it's got a charge that's going to make it sound like a cannon. And then it's got a charge after that fires that's going to blow the bottom and it's going to be loud. Depth charge fishing. Yeah, I was just messing around. Got a couple. I told y'all that I got a couple of black powder rifles today. Man, they're cool. Made in Spain. It's a dadgum Tradition. The company is called Tradition. One of them is a Yukon, and the other one is a buck hunter inline. They're both inlines. It's not the old. You know, I'm used to the old Kentucky looking ones that's got the, the hammer comes down to the side. These are straight line. I am going to butcher your name all up, and I'm going to apologize, but hello, you do. Did I say that right? I am sorry. How are you doing? I know I don't have you, and I hate to click on. I'll just go back later, because if I click on it now, it'll pop up the whole your channel, and I don't want to do that unless you don't mind. But I know I don't have you. I'm telling you, it's going to show your whole. Oh, wow. Oh, it didn't. Okay. I am. You are family already. I did not realize that. Okay. Well, welcome to my house. Ooh, I almost X'd out of the StreamYard, y'all. That would have been terrible. But it'd be the hillbilly in me. I need to put glasses on. I cannot see for some reason today. If y'all don't have each other, y'all can hook up on each other. This is not a grow channel, but y'all can grow in this channel if you'd like. I usually go to people's chats and I'll find people that I don't know and check them out and hook up on them. And I guess I can say subscribe. Well, look, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee real quick. I'm going to bring that caliber out here and show you that thing last time. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, let me set my coffee down. Man, this is a bad looking gun right here. Hang on. Oh, they're going 50 caliber black powder, man. This thing's cool. It's hard to see. It's hard to show it on this camera. Look down the barrel. But yeah, I got this today. Then I got this in here. This is cool, man. See, look, push that down to get your primer cap in there. Pull it back up. It's actually got a hammer. Hang on. And it's weird. Check this out. You pull the trigger and try to do it upright, but this is how it's designed. Actually, it slings it up there to hit your. It hits a firing pin that goes in there and hits where your dadgum primer cap is. But it's an inline firing black powder rifles, man. And then I got another one that's bolt action center line fire 50 caliber muzzle loader. I could go get me some deer right now, but dadgum, I don't trust the deer anymore. And it's not loaded, y'all. That's the reason why I was showing it like I was showing. People when I left. See, my face scares people off. All right, Lori, you take it easy. Yeah, it's an inline. I ain't never had an inline. Yeah, I got powder for it. I just don't have it. Because you they don't bullet, but you know, it's shaped like a regular bullet. But you can shoot balls, or I forgot what you call it. That's how bad my memory is. Jim G. But yeah, man, I love how that one looks, especially with that scope on it. The other one looks like a kind of like a World War II military bolt action. But yeah, I don't really hunt though, man. Well, thanks for coming, Lori. You can come back anytime. If I'm still here after midnight, YouTube's purge is tomorrow, the 10th. Which I think it'll be midnight California time, because I think they're in California. You remember when Hangouts? I think that's how we figured it out. I did a Hangouts and it went past midnight here, but it didn't make it past midnight in California. All right, Jim G, have a good one. Appreciate it. Today's the 8th. I thought it was the 9th. Hang on. So you mean I did this live stream early? Dadgum. Says it right there, the 8th. How come I thought it was the 9th? All right, let's act like this live didn't happen. I'm gonna have to redo this live. I mean, I only need 15 hours to hit the 4,000 hour mark. Yeah. So if y'all could run a couple of videos in the background or something, I'd appreciate it. Today was the 9th all day long. What in the world? How did I get the stupid news? They said it was the 9th. Dadgummit. I had to change the title of this because the title of this was the time out here. Purge is at midnight, and it's not. They could flag me for having a misleading title. I could plead ignorance, or I could plead guilty. I don't know. Man, I'm going to take that back inside. I don't care to leave anything in the shop. It goes through so that it makes stuff sweat, and that thing will sit there. That's what's happened to my pistol in here, man. I had to take that thing apart and snap out of it. You had a pre-show. Y'all seen my pistol, right? Still Am I back yet? Am I back? Unbelievable. I don't know what the deal is, man. They must be pushing some more frequencies through the sky. It looks like I'm back. All right, I think I'm back. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, y'all. No, it's because I went to start showing guns, and the AI is like, I can't figure out what kind of gun that is. That's all it is. I guarantee you. I'm trying to get everything set back up, man. It just started going crazy. I think I'm back. Dadgum. I've been on 2 hours and 17 minutes. You gotta be kidding me. Uh, I did a stream on D Live the other day and everybody was great and the audio. I know the audio usually is, but they said the video was too. And I'm like, that's unusual. I mean, it doesn't do it on YouTube, but they said it was great. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Everything blanked out on me. That reminds me, I need to do a quick D Live tonight because I've got a treasure chest I need to empty out to the chat, and it's got like five lemons in it. Hmm. I want. Hey, you know what? I bet I can do a D Live while I'm doing this. Oh, I better not. Screw it. No, I better not chance it. I was fixing to chance it. No, I got to look and only got 3 bars of AT&T signal for some reason. And the wind's kind of blowing. They're pushing frequencies right now because before it got dark, the clouds, you could see the frequency patterns in it. Lemons are like money. That's how they pay over there on D Live. You got lemons, ice creams, Ninja Jets, Lamborghinis, and all sorts of crazy stuff. Y'all ever watch Terry's Theories? He shows UFOs that people post on YouTube. I gave him I can write community tabs now. I can sit there and put little posts out there in the community. I still can't live. I mean, I can live stream off all my stuff, but I can't live stream off the YouTube platform on my phone. It's crazy. Yeah, lemons and stuff like that. That's how they pay over there. And then, I mean, you can collect like every 2 weeks. It goes into some sort of account. I don't know. I'm not really too sure. I think like lemons $1. I can't figure it out. I blanked out, y'all. And I've got like, I think almost 60 followers over there now. And daggum Fallout Shelter's my #1 guy he's my first follower. And he donated the first diamond. A diamond's worth 100. Then I got what's his name? Rare Breed. And then this other, oh man, I ain't been over there in a while. I can't this I'm trying to remember names from 2 different platforms now. And I've had enough problems trying to remember people from one. I know I keep buffering out here and there for some reason. I don't know why. Let me try to share the screen. Maybe it's my face. So I need to show even less face. There, that's better. It probably won't buffer anymore now. But yeah. Whew. I'm gonna have to go to the there's a gun shop out here in Henderson that's got black powder stuff. And they've got I can't remember, they're bullets. They're not the balls, they're bullets. I might get some of those bullets instead of the balls. But man, 50 caliber, you could hunt that gum buffalo with that. The only bad thing is one shot and then you gotta reload, you know what I mean? So it ain't like, but it's got, you get a couple of guys like, I mean, you know, if you're getting attacked, you know, when the crap hits the fan, if that thing will shoot through 4 or 5 people if they're lined up right. My dad said when him and his brother were younger, they had I think he said it was 58 caliber black powder rifle. And they would pack that thing full of powder and they could shoot it through 8 inches of oak and bust a cinder block behind it. That's some firepower there. There gum. All I see in the chat is people's last stand. People's last stand. There's 7 people in there. Okay. Man, I didn't think I'd go this far. UFO builder. Oh man, I thought today was the 9th, so I was doing my last live stream. Got purged off the internet. And then I found out today's the 8th. I was out of town today. This is the first I've been on the computer. You know what gets me? I saw somewhere I get on the news they're talking about the Middle East people using drones to drop bombs and stuff. Well, hell, way back in 2006, before I got on, I was on G Plus. I ran across some Middle Eastern people that built a drone. They used the daggum drone motors. They used bigger motors, but they still built it kind of like a drone. They had a chair that they sat in underneath it, and he'd get in there with his little iPad and he'd fly himself around. And I thought, oh my goodness, these terrorists are going to be able to, you know, do like the kamikazes. They can fly to their target and blow themselves up. And I posted that out there and it got like 6 views. I'm like, do y'all not understand the significance of what I'm showing y'all? Yeah, they basically used, well, they bought a drone and the drone control system. They just put a bigger battery pack in, you know, more, I guess, more cells and a little bit bigger motors. And they only used 4 motor. I mean, they set it up like a drone. Basically, it was a drone. You know, it wasn't that big. It was like 4x4, and they had a chair they'd sit in underneath it. And that guy would get in there with his iPad and fly himself around. And I saw that back in 2006. And he was over in the Middle East. I still haven't seen that thing that you were telling me about, the agenda UFO. It ain't never showed up. We're going to have to do a live on it, but I'd like to be able to read on it and have you explain it since you're more into another thing. I only got 25% battery on my tablet over there. It might be a little weak, but yeah, we'll have to do an interview on that whenever it's good for you. But yeah, I was just showing off my 50 caliber musket rifle I got today. I got 2 of them. Man, I can't believe it. Man, I'm going to have hours in, y'all. You know, hang on, UFO. I should still be able to get you on the hangout, you right? It looks like I tried to copy it back on September the 16th. I'm going to send you a smiley face over here on Hangouts. See if you get it. That way. All right, I'll send it over there. But I'd like this agenda. G-Day, what's going on? Yeah, I probably hit the 15 hours that I needed tonight. So we'll just see. But it takes YouTube a while to recognize. And check this out. I got video. I got one video that's got 480 something views. It's got like, I don't know, I forgot how many, 4 days worth of view time. So that would be what, 48, I can't think. 76 hours of view time on it. But they accept view time if it's got a copyright claim on it. And it's only got one song, right? So I was like, well, that's good. I'll just remove that song. It wasn't but like a minute and a half. I go down there to where you're supposed to be able to remove the song or dispute it. And the only option it gives me is to dispute it. It says copyright owner has monetized this video. Well, hang on, it's my video, and I should be able to take the song off, but it doesn't even give me an option to take the song off now. And I'm like, well, that's... So what do you do? And then I found others that I can take songs off. But man, they've been processing taking the song off for like 2 days. When I go to my video manager, you can see across the thumbnail it says edit in process. I'm like, daggone, it takes y'all 2 days? It's crazy. But yeah, I've been trying everything I can to try to get these daggone hours. Because I was up past 4,000 hours. No, Racer, it just happens like that. All right, I looked up there earlier. I was 1 hour and 37 minutes in, right? 5 minutes later, I look up there. I'm 2 hours and 15 minutes in. I mean, it didn't feel like an hour went or 40 minutes went by. I'm like, daggone. And now it's like 55 minutes. It's crazy. Racer, do I need to sing you a lullaby? Because I thought you're going to bed. So Racer's buddy with that's what he was saying earlier. I know when I roll my cigarettes, a lot of noise, doesn't it? Now I can't find the lighter. I'm not a pro. Actually, this live stream, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, seriously. Because I watched Agum and Lighten Cafe, and I'm like, man, I know exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know how he's feeling, but as far as the of it, I understand, man. It's not y'all out there. It's kind of worried. I've had topics, but tonight I didn't have any topic other than I feel like I'm running out of things to go. And if I could get monetized, that would help me to get some better video capturing equipment. And I don't want to buy it brand new. I want to go to the pawn shop and get it cheaper. You know, I'm not worried about it being brand new. I'm all about conserving. I mean, you have to nowadays. I mean, my laptop come from a pawn shop. But daggum, what I'm on right now, this Hewlett Packard Pavilion, it was gifted to me. It was my brother's old computer, and it's a gamer computer, not really. And then today, check this out. He gave me this. This is going to allow me to put Windows 10 on this sucker. because I'm stuck with Windows 7. So now, since I got that, I can upgrade my other computer I got. I got a brand new Acer that's got Windows 7 on it. So I can upgrade it and upgrade this one. And I might even try to upgrade this daggum tablet, this Chromebook, and turn it into a Windows 10. Oh, that'd be great. Could you imagine having a Chromebook with Windows 10 on it? And I know I got this guy at this pawn shop I go to. There's a computer whiz in there, man. And I'm gonna get some of these external things that you can put hard drives in and play a computer, and you can make a super duper super something. But I need better Wi-Fi. He's bummed out. A lot of people get bummed out over the Christmas. They don't have family and stuff, or me personally, I'm not going to get into Christmas because, I mean, I could get the Bible out and show you where it says in Jeremiah 10:1-5, don't do as the heathens and cut down a tree and prop it up with nails and wood in your house and garnish it with gold and silver. That's what it says in the Bible. It says don't put a Christmas tree up, in other words. But I didn't know about that passage or didn't remember it. I haven't put a Christmas tree up since 1992. I just quit Christmas way back then. It just, the commercialization of it, the fact that everybody's lying to their kids. I mean, Christmas makes you lie to your children and make your children believe in something that's not real, and you know it's not real, but yet everybody does it. And I got lied to about it. I had a friend that lied about he actually saw Santa Claus and told us the story, and I was like, man, I don't know if I should believe, but we're kids, right? I'm like, I don't know if he did or didn't. He might have accidentally called him, and then find out it's all a lie. So no, I'm not gonna lie to any kids. I'm not gonna be. That's a lie. It's a flat out lie. Elves making toys. Come on, Rudolph. Santa Claus come down through the chimney. I mean, okay, we got to believe all this magic, but we can't believe there's demons on this earth right now. But we can believe Santa Claus can touch the side of his nose and chink, be down the chimney. He's got a bag of never-ending gifts. He's got elves at the North Pole that build the toys. The lies, the deceptions. And that just helps propel it, because that changes how a kid thinks out. Santa Claus ain't real. And this stream is not made for children, by the way. And if I offended any children by telling them the truth, I am sorry. Oh, man. I'm messing up here. Well, we try to be. You're talking about putting out info. That's what I try to put out, the truth. A lot of times I put out my thoughts and how I feel, my opinions. But most of the time, I'm spot on. I mean, with what I think's happening. Like I've been telling people for, I don't know, what, 17 years or better. There are sleeper cells in this country. They don't want to believe me, but they're here. But look, y'all, I've been on here long enough. I appreciate y'all coming in. I think I'm going to end this thing so I can go inside and call it a night. It's been a long day. I don't know. I've just been tired here lately, too. I don't know what that's about. I've been tired. But G for coming in here, UFO builder, People's Last Stand, Born Racer. Who else is still here? There's 5 people in the chat. I'm gonna go through here. Lori, she left earlier. Jim G left. Man, I just could not pronounce his name to save my life. Oh, Yolanthia. Yolan. Is that a R? Yolandria. I cannot. I'm gonna have to brush up on that. And then we had Wolf Lover came in for a bit. Jim G. That's as far as it let me go. Oh, I'm back on daggum top chat too. I'm sorry, Racer. The truth hurts sometimes, but it's better to find out now than when you're 60. Yeah, and have a good night, Last Stand and Racer. Man, Racer, when you gonna do a live? I saw that live last night and it said Born Racer. And it said it was live, and I was like, that gun Racer's live, and I went over there and it was dadgum, the first 2 words are 2 letters, and what's the name of that channel? I can't it'll come to me. But anyhow, I appreciate it, y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end this thing. Yeah, be the change. He's a good guy, man. He's complaining about not getting enough views on his videos and stuff, and we need to support him. I'm probably gonna have him on as a guest. I mean, he's a cool guy. He's a prepper. He's a big time prepper. Well, he's ready. Let me just say he's prepared. He's really prepared. And I mean, he knows how to make water filtration devices and stuff like that. So, well, look, y'all, I do appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and get off this thing. And y'all have a good night. All right. And I'll see y'all next time. Later.